Dear friends, let us be aware and be conscious on ourselves. We identify ourselves with our names. Let us pay attention on our names. That is one of the most strongest identifications. Name. Are we happy about our name? If we can rename ourselves, if there is a chance to rename ourselves, then do we do it? Are we renaming ourselves? ourselves and our names. Is there any connection in between? Can we feel something in between ourselves and our names? Let us now pay attention on our age, the number, digits. If we can reprogram our age, if there is an option to reprogram, reschedule our age, then are we going to do it? Go back or go forward? Do we feel any connection in between ourselves and the age? Do we really feel? name and the age. They are, they belongs to the past, to the birth certificate and to the date of birth. It doesn't, for they, the age and the name, do not say anything about present us. Can we feel ourselves without using the past? What happened in the past? What we have done in the past? How was or how were we in the past? Do we have this feeling as well? I am a stranger. Some strange feeling within. I have never seen this person as now in the past. Strange, at the same time familiar, friendly, homely. something soft, something gentle, something tender, and something flexible. Can we feel ourselves as something tender, gentle, soft, and flexible? The breath is always fresh. It doesn't matter how many times we breathe in the past. The present breath is always fresh and it makes us fresh too. Now feel your eyes and before you open your eyes, please understand this that you do not know what you are going to see. But the past tells us the wall or the flowers or the window, the door, whatever. Before you open your eyes, please feel this, that this is the first time that you are going to open your eyes in your life. As first time in the life, do not know what to see. With this fresh attitude, slowly and consciously, please open your eyes to see whatever is there in front of you. Dear friends, yeah, always, so almost all the times, meditation uh, energizes us, and meditation makes us fresh. Also, it is enlightening us. For example, our life is like the earth, like the planet. And uh, the sun is enlightening the earth, the sun. It is, yeah, it is illuminating the earth. Once one man said this, that he likes the moon more than the sun. Then a friend of him asked, why? Why do you like the moon more than the sun? Then his response is, because the sun comes always when the light is here. But the moon comes whenever the light is not here. Therefore, the moon is doing a job which is more useful than the sun. Well, yeah, in a way what he said is true, but he missed the point. The sun doesn't come whenever the light is here. The light is here because of the sun. So if no sun, then no daylight. But we think the sun always comes whenever the light is here. And the moon is different. It comes when the darkness is here, then it is very useful. We have daylight because of the sun. Sun brings light. And meditation is like the sun. When we meditate, with meditation, we can see things very clearly which we didn't see before. Meditation brings a light into us. And then what spiritual friends do, they are like moons. Sometimes we are going through certain darknesses because of whatever reasons. The life is dark. We are experiencing the dark side of the life. And meditation, yeah, either we are unable to meditate, or no energy to meditate, or even meditation doesn't go deeper to solve the darkness, to get rid of the inner darkness. Then, only then, the moon is important. The moon, friends, spiritual friends. We all are having dark times, like the earth. not always facing to the sun. If we can always face into the sun, then always daylight is there. Always daylight. That's the aim of meditation. That's the goal of this inner journey, spiritual journey. So we are going towards the light, more and more light, from 100% darkness to 100% light. So that is why it's called enlightenment. Enlightenment means full of light. No nights, no darkness, no shadows, nothing. No hidden things, no covers. Everything is discovered. Everything is visible. So that's the aim. And time to time we all experience this, at least for momentary, for a moment. But because of so many involvements and engagements, and because of various social, political, financial happenings and influences, time to time, life becomes dark, or the mind becomes dark, or the mind is experiencing the dark side of itself, dark emotions, dark feelings, dark attitudes, like no hope, fear, depression, anxiety, guilty, disappointments. So looks like no future. Or even though if there is a future, it's very dangerous. Then, dear friends, we need moons. If we are in these dark nights, if we are going through dark nights, then who is enlightening us? Our own meditation, our own practice, the pure Dhamma is not there. That's why it is dark. Then moons, spiritual friends, they are reflecting what they are doing, what the moons are doing. Each moon is reflecting the sunlight, not its own light, sunlight. So spiritual friends are reflecting the light of Dhamma. Now we are not facing to the Dhamma directly. We cannot see the Dhamma if we are covered by so many negative emotions. Then we need reflectors. So each spiritual friend is a reflector, is a moon. Therefore, my dear friends, we all are so lucky, so fortunate to have many spiritual friends. I personally feel this very strongly. How fortunate I am. How fortunate I am to have many spiritual friends, true friends, many moons. And you too, you all. this retreat is one of the very best examples for this. Nobody can be helpless. No. If you came to Nilambe at least for one time, then you are not helpless at all. I mean, you don't have to come to Nilambe for this energy, but I can speak only behalf of Nilambe. So I deeply request this. Feel grateful. Feel grateful for your life and for all of your friends, all of your spiritual friends, wherever they are, doesn't matter. Time to time, one of them can be a moon for you, and for time to time, you can be a moon for some of them. So what a beautiful way of living. Sometimes we can get the light directly from the sun by our own meditation. But sometimes when the dark clouds are covering our mind, then of course we have to depend on moons. And many moons are around us. Behind all the clouds. So don't worry about clouds. They cannot cover the light. No cloud can cover the light. Dear friends, once a gentleman came to Nilambe to see this place. And when he came here, he told me he come to see the place, just see the place. Because some of his friends informed him that Nilambe is a very nice place, very beautiful and very peaceful and very calm place. Very nice sceneries are there, and you can hear nature and you can breathe fresh air. So he came because of those advertisements. And yeah, then he was looking around and he said, yes, what his friends told him is perfectly true. Beautiful views, clear sky, nature, greenery, vegetation, fresh air, very nice. And he said, oh, very nice place for the retirement. He said he will come here after his retirement to enjoy his retirement. Maybe in 10 years, in 15 years. So what I can say, I look at him and I told him, you are too old. Dear friend, dear gentleman, dear sir, you are too old. This place is only for youth. And it was a surprise to him. I looked I have seen his surprise. He was looking at me very seriously, and he was looking around and see other meditators who were here that time. And of course, this is not a youth club. So he was looking around, and before he's going to ask this question, I answered. I said, whoever is here, all are young, and including myself. And first he thought it's a joke, and he looked at my face. He doesn't know what to do, to laugh or to laugh with this joke. And he realized it wasn't a joke. I was serious. Actually, he's younger than me. But I said, you are too old. I am young. And all are here is young. Because the present beauty is still young. The present beauty is still young. But if you make a plan to enjoy this present beauty in 10 years, after 10 years, after 15 years, after your retirement, then you are not here. You are not here at all. Then you are already old. You are already tired. And you are already dead. This moment is still fresh. We all always look for happiness, and it comes. Happiness comes to our life. It is not a big assignment to make ourselves happy. It's a simple thing. But sometimes we feel it is so difficult to laugh, difficult to smile, difficult to enjoy. Actually, it is not difficult to enjoy. We don't have to make a complicated effort to enjoy. Because of our complications, we miss the simplicity of joy. We have to understand this. Because of our complicated thinking, complicated mind, we miss the simplicity of joy. The joy is so simple. It doesn't ask us to think about it. It simply says, let go of thinking. Just feel me. Just feel me. Don't think about me. Just feel me. So, therefore, it is not difficult. Really, dear friends, if you know art of joy, then you can make yourself happy in a simple way. You don't need any euro, any single euro or dollar or rupee to make yourself happy. Just by letting go of complicated thinking, complicated planning. That's all. But letting go of complicated planning might be difficult for a person who is engaged with complicated thinking. Thinking comes from the past. Actually, we are not thinking. The past is thinking. Who is thinking? The past is thinking. Who is eating? The past is eating. The past. The past says this is bread, this is butter, this is salty, this is spicy, this is sweet, this is tasty, this is bitter. Who says these things? The past. The past is doing everything. The knowledge is also part of the past. Knowledge. And knowledge is playing an important role of our life. That's true. To connect to the world, we need a knowledge. To work with outside world, we need a knowledge. Without having a knowledge, it is difficult to work with the external world. We need a language to work with others. We need concepts, common agreements, names, labels, all those things. If you do not know any language, if you do not know any names or any concepts, then very difficult to communicate with the external world. The knowledge is the bridge. It is the bridge to connect ourselves into the external world. So if you have a strong bridge, then easier to connect to the external world. There is no argument about this. But how much we are connected to the external world, that much we are disconnected from our inner world. This is the case. This is the problem. On one hand, the knowledge, the past knowledge is supporting us to manage the external world by being a bridge. Otherwise, we are in this bank and the external world is in the other bank. No connection. That's true. And on the other hand, the knowledge is a wall. It's a wall to separate ourselves from our inner world. So it is working as a bridge as well as a wall. Dual action. The past has dual actions. So that's why it's very tricky. On one hand, we have to depend on our past. We have to depend on the past. We have to depend on the knowledge. Otherwise, no way to live in this world. We don't need any examples to understand this. So the past is a bridge, and at the same time, it's a wall. So that's why it is extremely difficult to let go the attachment to the knowledge, to attachment to the past. The meditation doesn't ask us to let go of the knowledge. Most, or not most, but some of meditators misunderstand this point. They think that we have to let go of the past, let go of the knowledge. And it is not possible. How to let go of the past? How to let go of yesterday? Yesterday is not here. So if something is not here, then how possible to let go of it? And how to let go of the language? Or all the other subjects, whatever we have learned? Do we have to erase our brain? That is not possible and that is not necessary. Only what meditation is asking us is not to depend on them, not to depend on the past, not to depend on the knowledge. Detach from them, detach from the past, detach from the knowledge. The attachment to the past, the attachment to the knowledge, the dependency is the wall. That the wall which is separating ourselves and our inner world. So how much we are engaged with knowledge, that much we are far away from our inner nature. That much we don't know what is happening inside of us. And how much we are attached to the past knowledge, that much we are old. That much we are old. So how old we are, it is not depending on the date of birth. No, it is depending on how much we are attached to the past, how much we are depending on the past. If you are too attached to the past, that means we are too old, too old. If you are always depending on the past, and if we think past is the only way to understand, the knowledge is only way to understand things, that means we are almost dead. Almost dead. Eyes are old, not fresh. If we are depending on the past, then what we see only the past. The past can show us the past. The past cannot show us the present. That is not possible. The past, yesterday, doesn't know anything about today. But if we are using the lens of yesterday to see what is happening now, then we cannot see what is happening now. Because yesterday doesn't know. It doesn't know. It only knows what happened in yesterday. So if you are wearing the glass of yesterday or glass lens of yesterday, then we only see yesterday, only see the past. So if we are always wearing glass of yesterday, glass of past, then always we see very old and past world, because our eyes are not fresh. Our ears are not fresh. Our tongue is not fresh. Our skin, our nose, and our mind, our heart, all are very old. Not physically, but psychologically and emotionally. I have met many people who are having a lot of psychological difficulties, physical difficulties, and emotional difficulties. And whenever I invite them to meditate, come and meditate to overcome your difficulties. Even they are advised by their physicians, doctors, counselors to meditate. Meditation is the only way to overcome your difficulties. Please go and meditate. So what they say they are too old now. They are too old to start a new life, new spiritual life. And they further said, Bukul, if we meet you 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, then how nice, how fortunate we were. Now we are too late. So whenever we meet that moment, that rare moment, they are using for regression. For regression. Oh, we have to start meditation in our young time as a child. Then how nice. Now too late. If you postpone to meditate, then it is, yeah, too late. Too late. But whenever you feel this is the moment, this is the right time to meditate, then it is still fresh. Your life is still fresh. Whenever you feel this is the right time to meditate, it doesn't matter how physically old you are. The meditation is not asking your age. It is not asking. Only maybe meditation is not asking this question, this silly question. It is really stupid question. How old are you? But the whole world is interested in this, in your age, whole world, but not the meditation. The meditation is asking only this question. Are you ready to meditate? Right now, not in next moment, not tomorrow, not in the future, in this very moment. In this very moment, are you ready to meditate? If your whole self says yes, if that yes comes, not only from your mouth, not only from your tongue, if it comes from the heart, from your whole being, then you feel it's a new life. It's a newborn, new birth, new birth. And the other thing is, we are used to say this as well, that we have been meditating for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, something like that. So this is another thing which I cannot understand. The meditation doesn't create any history. Only the meditation is not creating any history. So on one hand, it doesn't ask your age. If it is not asking your age to start meditation, then how possible to create a history, meditation history, spiritual history? Actually, this is one of the most difficult questions which I cannot answer if somebody asks. But often I had to answer to this question full. How long you have been meditating? Well, to be honest, I would like to say from this moment. But it doesn't make them happy. If I say this, nobody, it doesn't make anybody happy. So if I say 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and if I say 40 years, oh, they were very happy. But it doesn't make me happy because I know it is not true. I am lying. So better to be honest with meditation. better to be honest with meditation. But of course, when we communicate with the external world, or when we communicate with people who are connecting to the external world, of course, then those concepts are important. We should not misuse those concepts and numbers. But at the same time, we have to be honest with ourselves. Am I meditating right now? Am I meditating right now? We have to ask this question. We can say 10 years. I have been meditating 15 years. But if you are not meditating in this moment, in this right moment, then the whole sentence is empty. It doesn't say anything about us. The past cannot meditate. The entire past, the entire history is unable to meditate, is unable to be aware, is unable to see things just as they are. Only this moment can meditate. Only this moment can meditate. Please make your eyes fresh. Only then you can see fresh world. Make your ears fresh. Only then you can hear fresh sounds. If your tongues are fresh, only then you can taste. There is a beautiful story. I think everybody knows this story. There was a emperor, the king of kings. And usually emperors, politicians are so busy with solving, finding solutions for problems. But fortunately or unfortunately, this emperor was so busy with clothes, dressed. That is his one of the hobbies, to wear always fresh suit, dress. 3 times he changed his clothes per day in one single day. Always he needs a fresh and new style. And he spent his whole time for this. No time to solve problems in the world, in the country. Anyhow, therefore his agents gone everywhere to find new styles, new clothes, new materials, new designs, and new colors. And this message went everywhere. This emperor is starving for new clothes. And you can sell very expensive clothes to him. So many merchants came with expensive clothes to this country, to his palace, to do a good business. And they have done it very well. And one day, 2 men came to his palace. And then they say, we are weavers, weaving clothes. And we are weaving magical clothes, which is most beautiful and expensive and comfortable and soft clothes in the world. No one can make that much expensive and luxury and comfortable and beautiful clothes like us. Then this emperor was so happy. He was so happy. He said, please make one for me. How much? And they said a very high price, very, very high price. And also they said it takes some time, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So we need a nice place, nice home. King Emperor said, no problem. And he gave them a very nice palace with all those necessary things, food and everything. And they said these weavers, actually they are not weavers, they are clever crooks. They said there is one condition, these are magical clothes, therefore only wise people can see it, wise people can feel it, not stupid one, not foolish one, they cannot see. And this message, news goes everywhere in the country. Two magicians, magical weavers came to see the emperor, our emperor, and they are now weaving a magical dress for our emperor, which very expensive materials, and that is the most expensive cloth. And only wise people can see it. Wise people can see it. And everywhere, all the televisions, all the newspapers broadcast this news. Every day, morning, noon time, evening time, night time. And this message goes from one man to other man, from one woman to next woman. And next, after a couple of days, the emperor came to see these weavers, to see the beautiful cloth. And he couldn't see anything. He couldn't see anything. There is no cloth, no material. But they are they are doing something like weaving a cloth, but there is no cloth. And before the emperor asked any questions, these clever crooks says, oh, dear emperor, my lord, you also see the beauty of this cloth, no? Touch it. See how smooth, how soft. As I said you, as we said you, only wise people can see and wise people can feel it. And then he tried to touch something, but actually nothing to touch. But he's unable to say, he's not honest to say that he didn't feel anything, he didn't see anything. Because if he thinks, if he say, I cannot see anything, I cannot feel anything, then everybody may think he is not wise. Emperor thinks, everybody then realize that I am not wise. Therefore, the emperor says, yeah, I can see how beautiful colors, how nice this dress, the style, so and so. And then all the ministers also say, yeah, you are true. We haven't seen such a beautiful colors, such a beautiful style in our entire life. So they went back, and then the message goes again, the new news. It's so nice. Everybody, we are the witness for this magical cloth. So all the ministers give statements to the medias. It's so nice. But only wise people can see the beauty, and wise people can feel the dress. And after a couple of days, again they came with the emperor. And actually again, nothing is there. But now they started to see something. Now the emperor also sees some colors, some styles, and ministers as well. Now it becomes something real for them, a little bit. And after a couple of days, again, they came, and now more and more real, more and more real. And finally, the national day comes, national day of that country came. It's a parade. And with all the armies, the emperor has to go in the parade in the street, and the emperor wants to wear that new cloth. And he feel that he's wearing a new cloth. Actually, no cloth is there. He's purely naked. But nobody see it. Everybody was appreciating. Oh, how beautiful, how new fashion, how new style. The entire crowd was yelling and cheering. As you know the story, only a child says loudly, "Our king is naked." Oh, our king is naked. So I don't know what is the end of this story. It might be beautiful, but dear friends, my question is, why only the child can see the reality, not anyone else, not any adults? What is the secret? And what happened? This is called hypnotism. Hypnotism. Group hypnotism. In the beginning, nobody could see any cloth, any colors. But the idea is only wise people can see. Only wise people can see. So whenever this idea comes to the mind, then how the mind thinks. No mind wants to think that I am not wise. This is the ego. The ego always think I am wise. This is one of the default of the ego. The ego thinks I know, I knew. So when this idea comes to the mind, then it goes to the ego, and the ego is taking this idea. Only wise people, only wise people can see. Then why I cannot see? I am also wise. But as you know, if you want to hypnotize somebody, you have to say same sentence again and again and again. One time is not enough. Maybe 3 times, maybe 10 times, maybe 100 times, maybe today, tomorrow, next day, couple of weeks. Until you hypnotize, until that person hypnotize. Again and again and again. So this happens, or this happened in that way. All the medias, entire cabinet, and all the ministers, all the agents, and all the citizens are repeating the same sentence again and again and again and again. Only wise people can see this magical cloth. So everybody has ego, and each ego wants to think, I am wise. I am wise, then I can see. Then I can see. Why I cannot see? So because of this hypnotism, everybody see something, maybe different, Not the same thing, but something. Nobody sees that the emperor is naked. Even himself, the emperor, if he knows that he is naked, do you think that he is walking in the street in public? I don't think so. He himself also feels and sees the new dress, new clothes, the new uniform. Why only a child? Because they are fresh. Their eyes are fresh. Their mind is fresh. So with meditation, my dear friends, we have to not to be childish, but fresh mind as children. They don't know, and we don't know too, no difference, but we think we know. They don't know, and they know that they don't know. So accepting this, our ignorance, we don't know. So this is the question what meditation is asking. Do you know that you don't know? Do you know this that you don't know? If we know that we do not know, that is the beginning of wisdom. Be a wise person. If we know that we do not know, that is the first step. That is the key to open for unknown wisdom, unknown knowledge. But if we think we know, then it is locked. We don't have key to open the door of wisdom. We have to stay in the dark shadows of the past knowledge. Then every day we have seen or we see the same thing. We are same, others are same, emotions are same, problems are same, solutions are same, everything is same. So if everything is same, yesterday, today and tomorrow, then my dear friends, we are not living. We are not living. Life is over. Life is over even before we born. For most of us, the living is over before we start to live. What an unfortunate thing. These days, we are cleaning the library in Nilambe because nobody is using the library. Actually, we don't need the library for meditation. What is the purpose of library? To meditate, to understand ourselves, to watch ourselves. Anyhow, we have a library. And there are a lot of books which we didn't enter into the library because no space. There's another storeroom, a lot of books. And myself and Mr. Kumara, we have done some kind of cleaning, and then lot of old books. They are maybe 50 years old books, more than 50. Old books, very dusty, full of ants. So when I see them, when I saw them, yeah, all books, old. But if whenever I start to read them, then it becomes a new book, a fresh book. It doesn't matter when it is printed, the date of print. It doesn't, the book is not depending on the date of print. It is always fresh. Whenever you start to read it, only then that book starts to live. So whenever you start to read yourself, only then you will start to live. Only then you begin to live. It doesn't matter the date of birth. It is not depending on the birth certificate. It is not depending on where you have born. But unfortunately, there are millions of books in this earth didn't start to read yet. No life. No life. Before they begin to live, they had to die. The death comes before they start to live. What an unfortunate thing. Start to read. Let us start to read ourselves. Each sentence is very fresh. We haven't read before any sentence of our life. Each sentence is very new. And by reading sentence by sentence, by paragraph, by page, we feel we are becoming fresh. We are becoming fresh more and more, more and more. To read this book, we don't have to learn any language. To read all the other books, we should know the language. So we have found Dutch book. I cannot read. Only Paul can read. Some lot of Spanish books. Maybe Ma, you can read. I cannot read. Lot of German books. Claudia can read, not me. Chinese books. Mandy, you can, not me. So I don't know. Before read those books, I had to learn language. I have to depend on the languages. I have to depend on my knowledge, my past. But to read myself, I do not have to depend on yesterday. I do not have to depend on the past. I do not have to depend on the darkness. Only what I need is the light of present. The light of present. And each sentence speaks about myself. Each sentence speaks about yourself, which you did not know before about you, which I did not know about me before. It's an adventure book, maybe romance, maybe spiritual, maybe scientific, maybe religious. So all the categories, you can put all the categories. But finally you realize that you are beyond all the categories. You are beyond all the categories made by the past, made by the world. No name for you. No name for you. The world is unable to name you. The past is unable to give a name for you. No name is your name. That is my name. No aim and no age. No age. Therefore, my dear friends, life is still fresh. Thank you very much. And yes, fresh time is in front of us. So let us enjoy this fresh time to see how fresh we are, how many new things that we can discover within by listening to ourselves, by reading ourselves. And then we can come to the last part of today's retreat with a lot of light, not for light, not to looking for light, with light. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your new name, no name.